What's going on, guys? It's your average consumer, and today we're going to be spending a real day in the life with the iPhone 8 and 8 Plus. And if you've never seen one of my real day in the life videos, you're pretty much going to be spending a full day with me and the new phones so we can see how they stack up in the real world. So we're going to be testing out all kinds of stuff like battery life, performance, those new cameras, and a lot more. So let's see how they did. All right, guys, so I've got the iPhone 8 Plus in hand. Arie's rocking the iPhone 8. We've got them all charged up to 100%. So we're gonna let you know how it works throughout the entire day, but we've got a ton of different places to go to, videos to shoot, meetings to go to. So we'll let you know how it goes. All right, guys, so we just made it to this place, Foofy Poochies. Our little monster over here is going to get groomed. We actually had like a 20-minute ride using the GPS to find the spot. And I was using some apps before. So right now I'm about 83%. We've got about an hour and 49 minutes of usage. Still got 83%, so that's solid. So I think right now is a good time to take some before and after pictures of Cookie, test out this camera, let you guys see how it works. So let me see if I can get her to cooperate. Hey, look. All right, you know what? This'll work. Cookie, treat? Oh, you want a treat, monster? All right, I think I got a decent shot here. I think this looks pretty good. Yeah. She looks like a hot mess, but it is a very, the quality on this camera is insane though. It's a very sharp shot. Colors look great, really vibrant. It's dope. All right, guys, so right here, this is a scooter board, and we've shot, I don't know, maybe 3 videos with this board. They're all gonna be coming out on the channel in whatever order, but for those of you who don't know, it's a mix between a skateboard and a scooter. It's electric, so it goes on its own, and it's really cool. So I'm gonna be using this to see what the stabilization is like on the iPhone 8 Plus. So it's got optical image stabilization. We're gonna see how smooth a video we can get from it. Let's hope I don't drop this phone. This is about how much I'm shaking. You seeing all that? Let's see how smooth the video is now. Make a quick little turn. Crack in the street, killing me. Right now I have to upload a video, but obviously I'm outside. I don't have Wi-Fi, so I'm gonna turn on my personal hotspot. But instead of having to jump into my settings and turning it on like that, all I gotta do is swipe up with the control center and long press over here, and then boom, I have access to it right here. I just tap it and my personal hotspot is on. That's one thing I really like about Control Center. You kind of get everything you need right at your fingertips. And if you don't see it immediately, you give it a long press and you have access to a lot more settings. So that is an awesome feature. And I just think that that's one of the best changes that you're gonna find with iOS 11. Now, I gotta upload this video. All right, guys, so we're finally back at the studio, but I wanna talk about the design. But first up, don't mind the mess. We're still trying to figure things out, guys. But let's talk about the design here. So we've got both phones here. This is, well, all right, I'm gonna take this real quick. So over here we have the gold iPhone 8. We got the 8 Pluses over here, silver, space gray. Now, I think that these look awesome. I think anybody who came from like a 7 or 7 Plus, even though these don't seem like a really drastic change in terms of design, once you get introduced to this new glass back, it kind of changes the game. Now, it's glass, so you know you have to worry a little bit about scratches, fingerprints, and things of that nature. But you can always slap a D-brand skin. I'm actually going to be applying this dragon skin in just a second. I'll show you guys what it looks like. But you can add that onto here so that you can get some more grip out of your phone. But honestly, you're really getting pretty much a very similar design. The new glass back, that's nice, but you're not getting much else. You're getting a glass back and a little bit more heft. In terms of the design, that's all that's really changed.
And that new color. And
that gold. Well, the space gray looks different too. This is like a replacement for jet black, but just a little grayer, It's all good though. So look who we got back. So instead of using the rear camera this time, we're gonna go ahead and use the front-facing camera. I'm gonna take some selfies with the little girl, and we'll see how that turns out. All right, let's see. Not bad. In the camera, on the screen it looked a little overexposed, but actually looking at her, she looks pretty good. Really good exposure, sharpness is there. Dang. Listen, iPhone 8 and 8 Plus have really, really good cameras. And in terms of battery, we're looking at about 35% with 4 hours of usage, 4 hours and 16 minutes of usage. Really good. It's 2:38, so we still got more of the day left, but I've been testing it quite a bit today, so we've been draining that battery like crazy. So right now, guys, we've got the GPS on even more. We got a 26-minute drive ahead of us, and at 34%, so we'll see just how much drainage that takes up out of the phone. Now, something we're not taking full advantage of with the iPhone 8 Plus right now is the fact that it has wireless charging. Now, this dock that I have for my car actually has wireless charging built into it, but because I'm testing the battery to see how long it lasts throughout the day, I'm not utilizing that feature. But if it were just a normal day, I'd have it plugged in, and while I'm using the GPS to do all these different things and go all these different places, I wouldn't have to worry about the battery draining at all because of the wireless feature built in. And that's one of the real benefits of having wireless charging. You have them all in these different little spots in your house or your car, wherever it may be, and then you don't have to worry about battery life as much as you would on a normal day. So we just got back. That was, like I said, a 27 or 8-minute ride, and now we're down to 27%. It's 3:12, so we'll see how much longer it lasts. Right now we're at 4 hours and 47 minutes of usage, which with a lot of other phones, the phone would be dead by now. So guys, interesting thing, this is my first time actually using a white-faced iPhone, one of the silver colors, and I'm usually all about that space gray life, and I gravitated towards the dragon skin for that. But since I have a lighter phone, I think it makes more sense to swap over to this concrete skin. And I think this looks a bit better and matches overall. I think I'm gonna be rocking out with this for a while. Okay, 5 o'clock, and I've got 1% left. Now, hear me out. This is pretty bad. I spent like 2.5 hours using the GPS. I've been using it for longer than just one day, and this isn't even the best that I've seen. Obviously, the GPS has killed it quite a bit more, but I've gotten way more, I think close to 8 hours. There aren't many phones that can do that. Yeah, so today was a bit of an anomaly. We went out a ton, went to a bunch of different places, so we destroyed the battery with GPS, but we get to use the fast charging feature that it has built into it. So kind of works out. This is the $80 fast charging option for you guys out there. Oh, and the screen on time, we're looking at 6 hours and 21 minutes. So let's try this out. We're gonna plug this up. I'm gonna have me some McDonald's and see how much juice we get in about 30 minutes. All right guys, so 30 minutes has passed. Let's see what we've got. So right now, 65%.
Nice.
It's pretty good, pretty good. That cost 80 bucks, but I think that's really expensive, which kind of sucks because you got phones like the Galaxy S8, the One Plus that have fast charging built into the packaging. You can just, plug in and you have access to that. It's an expensive feature, but it's nice to have. All right guys, so we ended up in Best Buy, and there's like always a ton of good lighting in here. So we tried out that portrait mode feature, and we got some pretty interesting results. And here's one that we just got, and it did pretty well. But something that I like about it is that you can access the portrait lighting features that Apple introduced with the new 8 Plus by simply editing the photo and then picking the one you want later on. And you get some interesting results. Studio light allows some more light on the face, like it's a studio shot. Contours darkens the shadows a bit. And then you got the interesting ones like stage light, where it kind of gives this blacked out effect in the background. And it doesn't work that well, not yet anyway. And you also got stage light mono, which kind of turns it black and white. These are okay in terms of like, they're all right. I don't know, I think you probably need like a very nice setting in order to do this. I don't think just off the cuff random pictures are gonna make it look as good as it can be. But as of right now, it's probably not a mode that you're gonna wanna use a lot. And over here, Arie actually made a pretty interesting observation. Now there's a bit of light on the tip of my nose, but if you go all the way to the mono light, you can see that light was counted as the background. So it kind of cuts off a piece of my nose. Got that Michael Jackson look going. So that's what happened. So it's not perfect yet. Hopefully they work on it and we see improvements. But as of right now, the first 3 modes work pretty well. The last 2, not so much. So now that I've already told you guys how long this thing can last during a day, I plugged back in my wireless charging dock over here, and all I gotta do, throw it in, and it starts charging immediately. So now I just take it, put it in, take it out. I don't have to worry about plugging anything in anymore. Now time to go. And that was pretty much my day, guys. Now, I was running around like a chicken with his head cut off and doing a ton of traveling, way more than I would have liked. So I didn't get a chance to show you guys any real content consumption. You guys know I like to watch my anime during some downtime, but I didn't get a chance to show you guys that. But based on my experience outside of that single day, I have no real complaints about the display. I think it looks awesome. The only issues that I have with it is the fact that it's not OLED. A lot of displays now are OLED. A lot of the premium flagship displays are. So it would have been nice to see that here. Also, the fact that it doesn't have the thin bezels. That's something that we're going to be seeing with the iPhone 10 as well as OLED. But it would have been nice to see that with the new 8 and 8 Plus as well. But it still is a functional, good looking display. But if you really want something new to kind of shake things up, you're gonna wanna take a look at the 10. And speaking of content consumption, when you're watching your videos or maybe just listening to music with the speaker, you can definitely see an improvement with the new speakers. Apple says they're supposed to be 25% louder and have a bit more bass. And honestly, you can see the difference. If you compare an iPhone 7 or 7 Plus to an 8 or 8 Plus, you will absolutely see the difference. They did a pretty good job there. And I wouldn't say these are the best speakers I ever heard on a smartphone before. Oh, HTC. But they are definitely an improvement, so if you're upgrading, you'll like that change. But like I said, to keep that display looking good, Apple introduced a new wide color gamut, as well as some features like True Tone display. Honestly, the True Tone display is interesting. It changes the white balance based on the lighting in your area, so it'll change depending on where you are. Honestly, I wasn't too crazy about it. I know that it's probably a way healthier option on your eyes, so that if it's nighttime, it'll go a bit to the warmer side so it can help you fall asleep at night. It's definitely a nice feature for those who are conscious of that kind of thing, but honestly, I just can't handle the color change. And when it comes to performance, that A11 Bionic chip is beastly. Anybody using the phone is gonna have a buttery smooth experience. I had no issues whatsoever. And it's so powerful that it also allows to do a lot of cool things with augmented reality. We're gonna see a lot of new apps taking advantage of that, from shopping to games to all kinds of stuff. So it's gonna be interesting to see how developers take all that power within these phones and bring them into real world applications. And when it comes to that new camera, I was able to get some really nice shots. Apple actually introduced a new color filter, which makes the photos seem quite a bit more vibrant and colorful. Those are the kind of photos I like. I like a lot of saturation. I like very colorful stuff. I like my shot to be ready to go as I take the picture. That's honestly been one thing that I thought Samsung always had a leg up on Apple with, a nice, colorful, vibrant shots from their cameras. But now I think the iPhone is definitely able to match that with some awesome quality. And you also get some great 4K settings here. I was able to get some really nice smooth shots, great looking video. Even the front facing camera was able to perform really well. Arie was extremely happy with the selfie she was able to get, and I gotta say guys, I was impressed as well. Now when it comes to battery life, this is where the 8 Plus really shines. I've always been able to get really good battery life from the Plus versions of the iPhones, but the 8 Plus kind of takes that to the next level. I've been able to get from 6 to 7 hours of usage, and I know some people are even getting 8, which is just insane. And with my real day in the life, you guys saw me seriously abuse the battery by using more than 2.5 hours of GPS, and that's actually at max brightness. So I was doing quite a number on it, and it still lasted me till the end of the day really. But I was able to use fast charging and get a ton of juice back within like 30 minutes. But either way guys, these are really solid phones, and if I'm gonna be completely honest with you, while I think they're great, my heart is really set on the new iPhone 10. That's when we're getting that OLED display, that new beautiful design. The new front-facing camera is gonna have all kinds of features like face scanning. All kinds of cool new stuff is gonna be on that phone. That's kind of like the phone to wait for. That doesn't diminish the fact that these are great options, but I feel like if you pick these up before that phone drops, you're gonna be pretty upset seeing everyone else walk around with a new 10. But that's about it for this video, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Till then, it's your average consumer. Peace.